Hello, everybody. This is Linda Davitas, owner and founder of healingsOnTheGo.com. I'm a psychic clairvoyant medium, certified healer, Reiki healer, crystal healer, magnified professional space clearer, dolphin healer. For more information, you can find me at healingsonthego.com. Please welcome my twin sister, Maria Daly. Yay!
Hello, everyone. Oh, nice to meet you, and thanks for having me. Oops.
How are
Little
you doing
glitches.
today?
I'm good. Doing well.
Awesome. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about the dark side of the moon. Actually, today's the eclipse in new moon, and today's a very crazy day. I don't know for you, but for me, it's
Yeah,
crazy. I'm surprised my hair's not standing up.
I know. It's like crazy things are happening today.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot of stuff, a lot of energy. Like some people have dizziness. How do you feel with the new moon and eclipse? Very powerful day.
yeah, I had to, when I was outside, I had to put my hat on because I felt so imbalanced. And the
Oh,
head actually is protected because you know, you cover your antennas, your hair. So, and I, but my daughter was out today sick because not feeling well, so I was like, come here, I gotta hold on to you because it's like she's for sure really feel it.
Yeah, you should do. And I felt it too when I was washing my daughter's hair, and I was like, oh, great, I'm gonna fall in the bathtub. So yeah, I
And
feel like currents.
especially because we feel everything, we're so sensitive, and you feel all the energies around you.
Exactly. And in Scorpio, which is awesome, Scorpio moon is very powerful in a lot of ways.
Yes, I know.
So some people, it intensifies the energy. So if you're having a real, like a bad day, it's gonna make it that much worse. If you have like whatever you're thinking of or feeling, it will manifest it that much more. I want to
Yeah.
say quick hello to Ria. Thank you for joining. Welcome,
Hey,
everybody. Welcome.
well,
Welcome to the show.
welcome.
Yes. So it's an exciting time. And tomorrow, too, is another very powerful, it's still the eclipse. Hi, Kendall. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please like and share will be greatly appreciated. How are
Yes,
you all? Hi, Georgia. Welcome, welcome. I see everyone coming on. So how is everyone being affected by the new moon and eclipse?
it's a
Um,
happy waves.
yeah, very wavy, that's for sure.
Even in
And
physical form and energy, physical, lots of people getting sick, and energetically you feel like off. Me, I feel like off balance, and it's challenging. But
exactly.
meditate, lots of grounding meditations, and I bought a bunch of your hematite to weigh me down. If I could I need like those anklets. You need to get next to hematite anklets to weigh
Yeah.
me down so I don't feel so balanced with these crazy energies.
Yeah, it is very strong, that's for sure. But some people, sensitive people feel it, other people don't. And the main question today is, how do you deal with it? Like, how would you deal with the imbalances?
Yeah, so I meditate, and then I also hold on to the hematite in my hands, and I wear the jewelry too. So, like breathe into the stone and actually feel the stone anchoring you, because some people think like you could just hold it and it's okay. Actually feel like you're the stone and feel the energies weighing you down, like you're anchored, or like tree branch.
Mhm.
I
Uh-oh.
actually have a friend tree that's by my kid's school, and every time I see the tree, I go over there and hug, and people probably think I'm losing my mind. I feel like anchored, you feel like it's branches, and you actually picture yourself like part of the tree. Well, we're part of nature. Nature's us. We need nature. And I feel so much better doing it, especially with the energies of today.
Yeah. And Kendall said he feels extreme pressure in my chest, which I felt earlier. And I'm like, I hope it's just gas bubbles. But yeah, it is very
And
strong.
Yeah, actually, my husband felt that way earlier, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he said his heart was racing. I didn't know that's part of the symptoms of today.
Yeah, it is. And that's what I felt before. And I was like, okay, take a deep breath in. And now,
Yeah,
because it is,
anchor yourself. Yeah, that's most important to
the
grounding.
eclipse, the eclipse is going to stay longer, and the new moon is today and tomorrow. It's a very powerful day today and tomorrow.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
very intense.
So, what other symptoms are we
Tomorrow I have to
feeling
do the
today?
same thing. I have to get, what is it?
It gets cut off a little bit. I didn't
Yeah.
hear what you said. Go ahead.
Oh, I said I have to go visit my tree friend again tomorrow so he can anchor me because it's amazing when you like start being aware of trees, how you start seeing their faces. You
Hmm.
know, you start seeing like parts of them, like the face coming to life. I think like the more you bring attention to something, the more it awakens and you actually see it, you know, the spirit of it. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Kendall, foggy mind, up and down emotions. Also, what you bring attention to also intensifies from, I know a lot of people feel angry and then they feel rageful. So it intensifies the energy.
Yeah.
Lots of water, cleansing, Epsom salt, good stuff.
Yeah, rubbing your hands with some Epsom salt really helps too. I always tell like if I feel like any type of negativity, any little thoughts lingering, right away I run and wash my hands with Epsom salt because they recommend actually doing it through your body. But if you don't have time, even with your hands, you'll be amazed at how good you feel after.
Mhm. And what a beautiful time to have the eclipse on the week of the Halloween.
Yeah, our favorite time.
Yeah. So that's what I also we're going to talk about today. And Halloween is a lot of fun, but it also has its dark side, which I have to say, when I was younger, we all like spooky stuff and
Yes,
we
we
all like to go and the haunted houses. Go ahead.
yes, and go on to the hay rides and have those guys with those what is it called? The chainsaws chasing us. Me and Linda galloped so high in the sky, our legs felt like we did a split in the air. It was,
Exactly. Halloween is a lot of fun. Hi, Anne. Anne says hello to you too, Maria.
hello. I don't see any comments, so I'm just seeing what you hear. uh,
So yeah, we did have a lot of fun. We used to go into spooky stuff too. And of course, we had a lot of fun. My
yeah.
older sister has the real Ouija board, which she found in a house that was haunted. So you want to tell them the story, Maria?
Oh yeah. So we were just being curious little kids, and we are like, wow, let's see if this thing really works. So we put our hands on top, and then sure enough, the board, you know, what you put your hands on, it starts to move. And I was thinking, no, you're doing it. And she's like, no, you are. And I said, I am not pushing it. So anyway, it started forming letters. And then it was saying like the name of the spirit that was actually, you know, passing it through. He says his name was Xam, remember? XAM. And then when he would tell us different things, actually, me and Linda, I know a lot of people, you could be around it and some people don't feel anything, but like I know with us, I even asked her, I felt like my hair was gonna literally stand on end. We really felt him like behind us. And I said, oh my goodness, I really, really feel it. We started getting goosebumps. I know I did. And I was, you know, I remember you felt the same thing. And, you know, it was amazing because you think like it's a board, but it's actually like a channel to for those spirits, those earthbound spirits to come through. Because I know that the spirits that were coming through, that person, I think he died, committed suicide, he said.
Mm-hmm.
So he was, yeah, the spirit of Xam.
Mm-hmm. And
He
do you
was
know what?
telling, yeah.
Do you remember with the roach? It
Oh,
was before we would start. There was like a 5-inch roach come out of nowhere.
yes, I know. And I said, oh, so when you see those symbolisms, sometimes you see that it's like the energy is a little bit lower, probably because the person is on a different vibration. But God bless his soul. But it was just that whatever he was saying, I forgot exactly, but he was just like predicting some things like, "Oh, I'm behind you." It was just some stuff like pretty freaky. But here we are, young kids experimenting with this thing that's actually really channeling a spirit, that he has, and he seems like he was earthbound because he was committed suicide, the poor thing. So every time he would sign off, he would put his name again. Remember?
Yeah. We were so young. How old were we? 10? I don't even remember.
I think like probably 12 or something. And our sister had it in her house. So we were just like curious to see if it actually works, but it really does. And every time we would go back on it, it was crazy because then it starts popping in your head like, oh, let's play with it again. Let's see what else he says. You become so like curious, and then you get drawn to that board, and then it's like other spirits trying to come through because also I guess they see on the other side that we're open. So probably they have their messages that they want to pass on to us. And, it was getting to a point where it's like you're feeling what they're feeling. I know I did. And it was becoming like a heavy thing. It was fun at first, but then you start feeling that spirit and what it's trying to send a message. And I felt that heaviness on me, and I was beginning like not to really want to play with it, but then it kept coming to our head, oh, let's see if any other spirit comes on. It's like
I remember he had checkered shirt. He had a checkered shirt. I remember seeing him. His whole body was like just a shirt floating around. And then I remember I felt like something, like I was going to lose my mind. I said, something bad's going to happen. I said, I don't want to play this no more. And my older sister's like, no, you'll be fine. I said, get the heck out of here. I said, oh my God. I go, it was really scary. Like the way I was feeling wasn't feeling good. So that's the last time we played with it.
Yeah, and they're attached to that board. Those spirits are attached to the board because whatever symbolism is on that board is like it draws in those spirits to come through and to, try to send the message. It's like that movie Ghost, where Whoopi Goldberg's like, get out of here. And they keep trying to come over, like Patrick Swayze. Oh, I'm alive. And you're like, I don't want to hear it no
more. Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly how I felt too.
Yeah. They just want to come and send their message, but then you don't want to. And that's why the idea kept popping in our heads to come in because they wanted to, speak about it. Yeah. It was pretty intense, that board. And I think that we tried to get it. Remember?
What was it?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you.
We tried to get rid of our sister tried to get rid of it, but I think it's hard to get rid of it at that time. Or anytime. It's very hard to get rid of those kind of boards.
Yeah, it's attached to it. And it won't leave. And good luck getting rid of the Ouija board. They say you have to burn it or something. This lady was trying to get rid of it, and she found it in her closet again. And like Sylvia Brown said, the Ouija board is like leaving your front door open.
Yeah.
And anything comes through. And it's so true that anything comes through. And sometimes they'll pretend that they're your loved one and they're not even them. So
I know. It's creepy because they disguise themselves and you actually think like, oh, that's them. And I see them, you hear them, and it's not them. That's what's pretty freaky about that. I know.
Yeah, exactly. And she has how many boards? My sister loves to collect them. And I think she has like 2 from haunted houses, and she doesn't really want them in her house, but she's scared how to get rid of them. So Ouija boards, I don't recommend to people. I actually want to remove it from my site because the manufacturer itself has it on my site, and I really don't want it to be there. But he said, leave it for now because people like that stuff. That he goes, just because you don't like it doesn't mean other people don't want it. Hi, Helen. Welcome. Anne says, I'm scared to death of them. Yeah, exactly. I don't blame you.
Yeah, because it's hard to turn them off after. It's like once you turn it on, it's like draws you in. Oh, come play with me again. Let's see what else is it. Then all the other spirits, and then it starts getting crazy on the board. Remember, your hands are like oh. So,
And then we were fighting. You stop moving it. She's like, I'm not moving it. You're moving it.
yeah,
Our
you could.
hands are flying in the air.
Yeah, you really think that someone's moving it because you find it really impossible that it's actually moving by itself, but it really is. It's amazing. But after that, I was like, no way, I don't ever want to play with that because after that feeling, you start feeling strange and very off. You feel like a heaviness went on you, like whatever that spirit's going through.
Exactly. And I forgot, did we have any other spirit come through? Just him. Max was
It
the
was
one.
mostly him. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
He took
go ahead
off.
because it cuts off. We talk at the same
Sorry.
time.
You go.
No, say it because it sounded like, and then I thought you finished.
Oh, no, I said he took off. Sam, once he starts, it's him. He comes with full force. And what's crazy? Remember, we tried it years later and we said, I wonder if it's the same spirit, like from when it happened. And I remember doing it like 2 years later and it was still the same one. Wasn't that crazy? Like there's no time over there. It was like yesterday.
And the funny thing is that, my sister loves collecting dolls, and one of the dolls kicked her boyfriend full force in the face. When she told me that,
That's
so laugh.
But it really exists.
So that's why I put on TikTok. I said, what is the most haunted thing? Dolls. Because my Adela, she remember their grandmother. I was gonna say our grandmother. Their grandmother bought them dolls, and she looked at me. She goes, "I don't like that doll. It looks spooky." And it was this other lady that bought it for them. So our little ones are very psychic too. But we're gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back to tell you more about our experiences with dolls. Stay tuned, everybody. Hi, I am Linda Davitas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsOnTheGo.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and share will be greatly appreciated. My special guest, my twin, Maria Daly. Yay!
Thank you for having me.
So let's get to the dolls. The dolls, it's so funny because there's a lot of times when she would get like a gift or some kind of birthday gift, Christmas gift, and there were the cloth dolls. So I didn't know that the cloth dolls are the ones that are the most haunted of all. Did you know that?
It explains it, but I'll tell you after your story. Go.
So remember Helena and my little one, they both had the cloth dolls. My daughter was completely terrified of it. She kept throwing it across the room. So I think she gave it to your daughter, right? And you could tell them what happened.
Yeah, so my daughter's like yanking this cloth doll, and I said, "What are you doing with it?" And she's like spinning it in the air and throwing it on the floor. And I said, "Don't do that. It's gonna rip, honey. Don't you want it? It's so cute." And she goes, "No way." She goes, "That has some crazy thing on it." And I said, "What do you mean? It's just a doll." And she was refusing. When the doll was in the room, she couldn't sleep. when the doll was anywhere, she said she feels like it came from one point and went to the other. I said, no, it's not. You go play with the doll, it's fine. And she was terrified of the doll. Eventually, the doll went into the trash bin.
Oh my God, how funny. Hi, Lorraine. Lorraine is saying hi to you
Hi,
too, Maria. Hi, Lorraine.
thanks for joining us.
So yeah, that is so funny.
Yeah, and she was always she was petrified of the doll. I said, and then I told my son, just put it on the side of, at the corner of her bed. She won't notice. Well, sure enough, she still was staying awake, couldn't sleep at all. So I was forced to throw it away because it was bringing like a lot of tension in the house. I wonder where it got its attachment from. It was so strange. Whoever had it before, it picked up something.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, Steve found at his job a bag of Cabbage Patch dolls. So he's like, "Oh, Linda, they're from the 19 whatever." He's like, "Why don't you sell them on eBay?" So, Adela looked through the bag and she's like, "Ew, they're haunted. Throw them in the garbage." And then I did feel bad energy on them. And I was like, I said, "They're not going to sell for much. Let's just throw them out. They're very haunted and ugly looking." And then he said, "Are you sure?" So we put the bag at the side of our table, ended up somewhere else. And she said, "I told you those things are haunted." She said, "Get rid of them." And then she was throwing them out in the hallway. So I said, "You see, they feel a lot. The little ones feel a lot. They're all psychic."
Yes, they're very clairvoyant. Young kids especially. I remember when we were growing up, our father used to look at us like we're crazy. He's like, "There's nothing there, go to sleep." And we would see, I remember us seeing both the witch inside. He's like, "That's your imagination. Go to bed. Don't say that to anyone because they're going to really think something's off with you. So go back to sleep and everything's okay."
Exactly. And that's an excerpt of the book, which I'm going to show. You can find it at healingsonthego.com. It's me and Maria, our journey, my journey from darkness to the light. And towards the end, it's only about me, but the beginning part is me and Maria, what trauma we went through in that haunted house. And just a little review, me and Maria were always glued together. And so we were happily walking down the steps and we were looking and we're like, "Ma, the mailman's coming." And then she's like, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Okay, go downstairs, get the mail." So while we're heading down, we see this floating mailman. Remember him?
Oh,
he was like floating he had no bottom. I was like, "Oh my God, a shirt." I saw him, a mailman, with just a shirt and no pants. And then I said, "Oh my God, he's haunted." Then remember, you screamed. And then you went, "Ah!" Then my mother was like, "What happened to the mail?" Then we go, "It's a ghost." Thank God we saw it together because they already think one of our screws are loose now. Both of us
I know. Yeah, because they always are like, "Everything's okay, just go back to sleep." But both of us and our mothers like, "Wow, really?" Yeah, it was pretty amazing because we both, a lot of times we saw both things like the cup turning by itself, everything. So I'm glad that at least we confirm it to each other and we don't really like, people think that really is a screw loose there.
Exactly.
So funny.
That man was freaky. He was the mailman. He was just a ghost.
Yeah.
That house where my mom lives still to this day is very haunted. They said that they think it was a hospital, believe it or not.
Oh.
There have been many suicides in that, remember that building? I'll never forget it. A lot of them growing up. You don't remember them, do you?
I was one of the last to leave, so it still was over.
You poor thing, I know.
It's hard when you're sensitive. Some people could live in apartments and nothing would phase them. Like even if, it depends on the person. Some people, you could put them in the same apartment. They're like, "I didn't feel anything. Everything's okay." But other people who are more sensitive actually pick up, different things that everything has, like the energy is still alive. Like it's still running its course, whatever is happening. That's what's pretty freaky. Like when I went to Ireland and we went to one of the parks, it's called Rossmore Park. And then we're walking and I told my husband, I feel like the way and I didn't read up on it. It just came to me like there was horses, a lot of bloodshed. And he said, "Yeah, how do you know?" And I said, "Well, I feel it. I feel like it's still happening now. I felt like the carts and everything." And I said, "Listen, either we leave now, or you got to pick me up," because I felt like all my energy was draining. And it was pretty scary too, because I felt like it was just so many spirits there that I really felt like I was going to pass out, like the countdown. That
Wow.
was before the kids, like years ago.
That's
And
scary.
yeah, and I told him, and he's like, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Please just get me back to the car." And I was speaking to my mother-in-law, and she said, "Yeah, that park is like a lot of people have died, and there was a bloodshed. It was like a war at that time. And there was a castle there. Now the castle was deteriorated because no one could take care of it. But there was like a lot of bloodshed, and there was carts. Exactly what I explained was true, and it was pretty freaky. But years later, when I went with the kids recently to Ireland, thank God I didn't feel that. I guess because they also keep my mind off it, so I was trying not to focus too much on what happened.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Wow. And 100 years old. She lived in a house too, in a hospital, 30s and 40s. She's seen some things too, but she's not afraid. That's good. But you know why I wrote the book? Because I wanted to tell everyone how spirits communicate. They just think that, oh, spirit, you see it. I mean, some people know it, some people don't. But the reason I wrote the book is because spirits communicate through your thought pattern, and not everyone's aware of it. And when crazy things come in your mind, you think, oh, it's me thinking certain things, and it's not really you. So when I started reading in the newspaper themselves, and they said, oh, the horn man made, then I said, that's exactly true, because things surround you and think through men. So that's the main reason why I wrote the book, so people could understand
Yeah.
that it's not always you.
Yeah, that's true. Because sometimes you really are convinced that that's your thoughts thinking those things, and they're really not,
Mhm.
you know. And that's why I always tell anyone who's going through like anxiety and everything, like just center yourself and take deep breaths. And also, salt has a very huge impact, even just washing your hands with it. I know several people who were getting anxiety attacks, and myself at that time. And when I did that, it really like clears your energy, because just like people take baths physically, you have to also cleanse your soul, your aura, your energy field, because it picks up so many stuff. And afterwards, you feel it after, but you think like it's just you, but it really isn't.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's why now we do stuff on Halloween. Some people call it we won't call the D word, because I don't know if it's allowed, but we'll call him the Horn Man. They say it's the day of the Horn Man, right? So that's why some people, fine, it's a fun holiday, but I always wanted to say, like, we all like to do spooky stuff. Just always be careful, like wrap up some garlic, put it in your little tushy over, your
Mhm.
bra or whatever. People, they protect your heart, or, carry with you, because garlic wards off energy. People are more aware of it.
Yeah, that's true. And also, like, keep our mother always said, keep a little piece of bread in aluminum, because bread takes away like anything negative, that lingers around. Because people have like Halloween, they have their dark attachments, sometimes. Like, we went to that castle in Ireland, and it's one of the most haunted castles. It's called Castle Leslie. And we stayed inside the room, and you can feel like everything had its attachment, like the mirror. You feel like whoever was there, you could feel its presence. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I felt like I was in a haunted house. The kids really, but they ended up falling asleep. I was like awake. I felt like a man, like in that room the whole night. I barely slept, but it was beautiful. But you could feel like all the attachments, like whatever they would use at that time. Obviously, they didn't go to like cleanse it and like take out all that energy. It's still there. It's still with the castle. You know, it was so beautiful, but you could still feel like, it's you're like something else is running the show. For example, like it's their room, like I'm the outsider, which is true, but it's their room, their mirror. You feel like it's like still somebody else's, their attachments. Some people don't understand it, but you could feel that it's not ours.
And of course, mirrors. So tell them what happened to your daughter. That's with
the mirror.
The mirror, yeah, you remember that you were at the mirror. Go ahead, I'll let you say it.
Oh yeah, so she was looking in the mirror and she moved her head, and then the mirror, her face in the mirror didn't move. And then she moved the other side and it was still like the same. And she's like, wow. She screamed on top of her lungs. And I said, what's wrong with you? And she said, well, that person in the mirror, isn't it me? And I said, of course it's you. It's your reflection. She said, but how come it's not moving? And I said, what? It's not moving? And she said, yeah, I turned to the side. I turned to the other side. And I said, well, it's probably something there, but don't be afraid. There's always like different energies around. They come to visit. They're not here to harm you.
Exactly. That's freaky. Yeah, because the mirrors are good in another life, like another dimension. So she's looking at herself. That's pretty freaky.
Yeah. It appears, I think, more to young kids because they know that they're open to it, and then they can feel more, when you're older, you put your guards up. But I think kids are like more fresh from the other side, and they're just like innocent. So it like appears, my son a lot of times is nervous because he feels, sometimes he sees things, but at that age, they say it's also very normal that kids are just aware of their surroundings, and
they're very gifted.
Yeah, it's nothing to be afraid of. Very gifted kids.
Yeah, and that's what I tell her. Don't be scared of seeing it. I said, it's not going to do anything to you. Just always be aware of your thinking, I told her. Be aware of how, what pops in your head. If it's something negative, doesn't belong. So, actually, the thing is, we brought my little one to my doctor because she kept seeing certain, she's sensitive, like a lot of kids are nowadays. Yeah. They see some stuff. She kept telling me, like, sometimes she sees black shadows. So I said, okay, Della, just to make sure, let's go check your eyes. And the eye doctor was laughing and he said, well, she has your gift. And he goes, there's nothing wrong with her eyes. So I said, okay. I go, that explains it. So funny. We don't teach them fear. We just teach them that we are, spirits are around, and just to be careful of your thinking. They can't really hurt you, right. Kind of, right? Unless it's Portuguese and they're like throwing things on your head. Which goes on to the next subject. We were on the highway and we passed by the Amityville Horror, and I was thinking about it. I was like, that house. Remember you said that they turned it around because a lot of people would look.
Yeah, they did. They turned it around because during the day they have a lot of people like still taking pictures. To this day, like when we pass by, you just see like flashes of cameras. There's still like people are still very curious about what happened, at that house. It's pretty intense. And they tried to like get people to go somewhere else, but it didn't happen. Oop. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, commercial break, and we'll be right back right after these messages. More haunted stories. Stay tuned, everybody.
Yay.
Hi, I am Linda Davitas. I am a psychic, clairvoyant medium and certified healer. I have also written a book, My Journey from Darkness to the Light, which is available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and on my website, www.healingsOnTheGo.com. If you would like to book an appointment with me, call me at 917-929-4935. Thank you.
Hey there! I'm Captain Splish. I'm the superhero swimming. I'll teach you to be water safe with all my swimming skills, along with all my singular friends here in Splish Splashville. Myrtle the turtle, Octi the octopus, Starry the starfish, and that's just a few. You'll learn all about what your body can do. My superpower is to teach with song and rhyme, and that helps you remember what you learn every time. You'll learn to float and you'll learn to swim, from blowing bubbles to jumping in. Each week, you'll learn something new. You'll be amazed at what your body can do. I'm so excited for you to see the show, but now Captain Splash has to go. See you soon. Bye.
Everybody, welcome back. Thank you for with my special guest, my twin.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thanks.
So basically, I want to talk different dimensions. So a lot of people don't believe, of course, everyone has their own belief, and that's fine because we respect everybody, but experience the different dimensions, lower than the higher dimensions. So basically, certain things attract the lower ones, and so certain things attract the higher. Especially when you're on a fear-based field, you have a lot of anxiety, stress. So what is that going to bring? Lower spirits. So I recommend healings. If you want to find out what kind of healings I do, feel free to find me at healingsOnTheGo.com. But basically, it's all about energy. And some people say, okay, I handle healing. It's not permanent. It's very, it's temporary because we all don't shower once a day. I mean, we all shower fully day, but you know, you can't just expect one healing to forever. So the healing is essential to, if you go through something negative, to heal yourself, because you don't want like energetic thickness and it becomes more and more and more, and then good luck with it. So go ahead. I know you want to say something.
No, it's true, because you get energy cords, and then when the cords go out of control, then it's like a spider web, and then it's like, you know, hard to get off.
Exactly.
So to constantly focus on like cleansing the energy space so that you're not pulling in all that stuff, and then, you know, how everything affects your physical well-being too. When you start not feeling well, too heavy energy, it's good to like cleanse, meditate, take those breaths. They're very important. Deep breaths really could calm you down, you know.
Exactly. So going to haunted houses is fine, but again, protect yourself, because sometimes you don't know what you're going to pick up. And that's why I feel like I don't, if I have like thrift stores, like some people, I don't, it's good to save money, but sometimes you don't know what's coming with it. So be careful with that too. You might some you don't want. You can buy a $5 shirt and bring 100 spirits with you. You never know what you're picking up on.
Yes, that's true. Everything has its attachments. Good to cleanse it. Whatever you purchase, cleanse it with some sage, or, you know, if you could wash it, but it depends what it is. Because water is power. You notice that a lot of people who have those negative thinking, then you hear them say, oh, I don't want to shower, I don't want to eat, I don't want to drink water. Well, that's the sign right there that that's some negative spirit trying to attach to you. You know, if you don't want to shower, it's a big sign, big red flag, that's something, because water cleanses that, and negative energies don't want water. They want to stick to whatever is there, stick on behind your neck, stick on your hair, wherever they can stick on, to not be washed off. You know, so many sad cases where you see people suffering from anxiety, and they don't want to take care of themselves, not talk to anyone, not shower. And if they only knew that thing, whatever is attaching, doesn't want them to shower, because once they shower, all that clean energy will come back to them. Yeah.
And just staying on that level is attracting that. It's true.
Yes. It's very powerful. Water, a lot of times when I couldn't sleep, sometimes if you can't sleep, like there's sometimes an energy or spirit in there. So what I would do is I would put a water bottle over my pillow, like on top where the head part is, or if you could put it under your bed, because that too is like energy, like clear water, help you go to sleep and take away whatever's trying to attack you during the nighttime.
Yes. And they say, what feeds those spirits? I never knew that till we were younger, right? Fear, anger, that's all their food. So the more you're fearful, the bigger it grows. And then the more it starts to possess you. And they are different kinds of possessions. There's one that takes over the full body. There's different kinds. But what's the number one cure? When you feel happy. When you feel happy, nothing touches you.
Yes, that's true. Love yourself, and try to, when you have love, see, you don't match with that dark frequency. So it's a mismatch. Like attracts like. So if you go into fear, then it will match because it's the dark one. So that fear is also low. So that's what it used to tell me at night. It says, love yourself, love, and the fear will go away.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
You don't want to stay low. Yeah.
And the number one cure is also colors, what you're wearing. If you always wear black color, is going to happen. The black is going to attract more, a color of mourning, depression, anxiety, fear. It will bring you. So my Reiki teacher told me that. She said, okay, a lot of people want to feel once in a while. Black is okay because it's also for wealth. I notice people very private like black, but she said if you wear it head to toe, it will act exactly what it's funeral stuff.
Yes.
Someone's gonna die and stuff. So
yeah. And also you have to be careful what you put your focus on, because if you're focusing on watching negative stuff on the TV, then that negative stuff will try to stick on you. So be careful what you're focusing on, what you're reading, who you're tuning into, putting your energy to, because all that little stuff can also stick on you.
mm-hmm. So it's very important what you're wearing and what you're manifesting. We're going to take another quick, right after this commercial. We'll be right back with more fun stories. Stay tuned, everybody.
Where did my light go? It disappeared again. Hold on.
Stay tuned, everybody. I think we're still on. Yeah, we are. So we're just going to continue.
Okay.
As I said, today's the new moon. A lot of craziness going on right now.
Yes.
I think we went.
See, my camera keeps falling off. Crazy.
Yeah, today's a crazy day where things are going, and that's why it's not the connection and things are going off.
Right.
So,
imbalances.
Exactly. So that's happening. But I think that right now we're off because it says technical error. So Sister will fix that for us. But other than we'll just continue on about energy and how itself. Do you want any other story?
What is it? See,
tell us another story.
Okay, so I'll tell you more stories about the castle.
Okay.
So when we were at the castle also, aside from the room being spooky, the castle's huge. So they have like the lodge castle, where we spend the night. And that's very much active. You could see the statues. Like I was getting goosebumps passing through them. Like there was like horses, it's like an old mansion. It was so beautiful. but their energy is very much alive. And they said that what haunts the premises is this man named Norman Leslie. And actually, that's what the Red Room is known in the castle, the Castle Leslie, because that he went for war and then he ended up getting killed. So they said that the Red Room is very active, which the kids were very interested in going to this Red Room, but it unfortunately was occupied. But I did get a picture of it from the back, and you could feel like, even aside from the room, but you can feel like the whole castle, you know, how active it is. And it feels like the life of the people have never gone away.
Oh,
You know, it was very amazing.
That place.
What is it?
So they're attached to that place.
Yeah, they are. And I still felt like the horses going around the premises and stuff. It was just amazing. We had the dinner at night, and then there was a man that was like the butler who came in.
Yeah.
He was joking with the kids. He said, "Do you want to see some more ghosts? The castle is filled with them." And I said, "Oh boy, don't tell them that, so they won't be able to sleep, the poor things." But it was funny because, you know, everyone is aware, even the staff, you know, about it being haunted and everything.
And you know, it's funny. They say, how can you get Halloween, like ghosts to come to your house? So they set the setting. If you want to attract crazy stuff, you can make it welcoming. Put a welcome mat so anyone walks in. Make it all spooky with cobwebs. And you're sure to attract stuff. That is so funny.
Good luck to what you attract. Sometimes you get rid of it. People think it's all fun and games, like, oh, spooky. Yeah, but if that thing attaches to you, good luck getting rid of it. Sometimes, yeah, you go through craziness. But Ireland's very magical. There was also, when we went to this other park, it's called the Fairy Forest, and it was so beautiful. And I just felt like the leprechauns. Seriously, it just came to my thought, like this song came out of nowhere. It says, "Hi ho, off to the fields we go with the little leprechauns." And I was thinking, oh my gosh, because, you know, leprechauns are really real energetically. Mm-hmm. You may not see it. You could feel like the happiness of the country. It's so beautiful, very magical. Once we landed, there was a huge rainbow. I have to say welcome to this beautiful, magical country. Yeah.
That is hysterical. And that's why today's so powerful too, because whatever you want to manifest, just for, and today's a magical day, whatever you want to. So yeah, it goes back to ghosts. Yeah, every house has a spirit. It always depends on the energy, if it's welcomed or not.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what it told me when I was sleeping one time. It said every house has a spirit, but it depends. Is it going to stay or leave? Does it like your energy? Are you matching it? If it's not matching, then it's going to leave. If it is matching, it's going to stay. Yeah.
So when you go in a house, if you feel uncomfortable, that tells you that there's like the energy. You have to, sometimes we don't really, people are distracted nowadays with phones, cell phones. But if you sit still and then you notice, like during the day, check in with yourself, how you feeling, you could really have the best guidance, because the guidance is within, you know, what are you feeling right now? And it could guide you to so many decisions in life. Sometimes people are confused because you don't know what to do in a certain situation. But if you start to learn to quiet the mind and really pay attention to how you feel, I think life would be a little bit more easier in terms of like decisions and what to do in life.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right. And more about the Halloween stuff. You have, but also try to attract something that you want in your house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to put like something kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, maybe attract the little fairies, you know, they're very cute. Attract little cute magical fairies. There's like put little flowers. But anyway, Halloween is fun. It's just when people go overboard with like seances and stuff, that's like a dangerous territory.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't know what you're gonna pull in. Sometimes they'll pull in something very dark and good luck getting rid of it.
Right, exactly. You know, other than that, if it's light and happy and pumpkin fun, it's a fun time. It's actually one of my favorite times of the year, aside from
Yeah.
Christmas. I love Halloween too.
Yes, I do too. And I put a TikTok on the different colors of pumpkins. Green attracts money. Pink is for people that have suffered breast cancer. So there's a lot of different colors, and pumpkins attract so many varieties, prosperity, wealth,
Yeah,
abundance. So today Halloween should be a magic instead of some like black colors attracts a lot of death. So I would never get a black pumpkin.
right, right. Yeah, I make sure outside of the door to add some pumpkin spice, bringing good luck. And they say finances is very good doing with pumpkins.
Yes. Pumpkins, but no black pumpkins. They sell them all over, black pumpkins. And I was like, little do they know what they mean.
Wow.
It means death, which is pretty freaky. No one would want to attract that in their house.
Oh, I like the white ones too. I have 2 white ones. I forgot what white means. I think cleansing. Cleansing.
I think healing or purify, very clean.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, pumpkins are fun, especially when the kids go for the trick or treating. You just got to be very careful.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, as long as you go to the
Yes.
people, and I like to keep it with the family because nowadays you don't know, you have to protect your children, and also, it's a bit crazy. So you have to also anchor yourself, mind, body, and soul. Attract good.
Exactly. All in one.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Where could people find you if they want to find you?
I'm on Facebook if they're looking for me. I'm under Lavish Rose Soap and Accessories.
Okay, awesome. And I'm under healingsonthego.com, Linda Davitas. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It was such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Okay, have a great night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.